think the creators over at Nickelodeon are your friends, but they have been pulling the wool over your eyes for years. Stay tuned for the secret one character in Hey Arnold was always hiding. Want more great content? Be sure to check out 10 adult jokes you never noticed in your favorite Nickelodeon cartoons on The Gamer. Now onto 10 inappropriate things Nickelodeon snuck by without you knowing. Weird ad. Nickelodeon is supposed to be a nice, kid-friendly channel. Parents should always be able to turn on Nickelodeon, leave their kids in a room, and be completely sure that they won't be seeing anything that they shouldn't. Unfortunately, that is not actually the case. Nickelodeon loves to sneak in weird jokes and references that are just too adult for children. In fact, most children don't even notice them, which is why we have gone through some of our favorite shows to point them out. The first on the list is Hey Arnold. In the scene pictured, Arnold and his friend Gerald are both sitting down outside, while Grandpa Phil stands over them. That's all well and good, but do you see the sign behind them? It says, "Try my sausage." This could have been a completely innocent sign, and someone could have really had some sausage for sale. But from the surprised look on their faces and how unprofessionally the sign is written, we are led to think otherwise. If this is the case, then this is super gross. Why would Nickelodeon put such a suggestive ad in a kids' television show? They probably didn't think kids would pick up on it, but surely parents would. Inappropriate videos. It's always a little weird when our favorite TV characters watch TV inside their shows, but for the most part it's pretty harmless, except when it comes to Nickelodeon. For some reason, Nickelodeon likes to have the characters in its shows watch inappropriate things. For instance, there's one episode of Spongebob Squarepants where he is sitting and watching television. To us, it looks like he is just watching a video of sea life, but then as soon as Gary comes in the room, he flips the channel. He becomes super embarrassed and says that he was looking for another channel. Why would he do that unless he was watching something super dirty? But that isn't the only show that has an example of this. Take Rugrats, for instance. While Tommy's grandpa is watching the kids, he pulls out a video called Lonely Space Vixens. He even tells the kids that he's not going to watch the movie until they go to bed. Gross, right? Why is Nickelodeon so obsessed with having the characters in our favorite shows have such a nasty hobby? These are kids shows. There is no reason to include little parts like this in the cartoons. But as long as people keep letting these scenes go by unchecked, Nick will keep putting them in there. Pants Debacle. Rarely do we ever get to see our favorite cartoons grown up. Usually they remain frozen at whatever age they were when the show first aired. Because of this, we don't see a lot of awkward things that come along with growing up and getting older, like puberty. But that is not the case with Rugrats. After the show had been off the air for a while, the creators of the show decided to create Rugrats, all grown up. When the show was announced, Rugrats fans everywhere jumped for joy. They were finally going to get to see how all of their favorite characters turned out. But it turned out that the show was actually a little too adult at times. Just look at this picture. It shows Susie literally looking into this guy's pants. And what's even weirder about it is the fact that no one seems to care. They're just walking about like nothing weird is happening. But this kid has his pants open. How is no one saying anything? How is Susie not repulsed? These are questions that we need answers to. Nickelodeon producers, if you're watching this, let us know what you were thinking with this scene. Woodstock. Usually in cartoons, there aren't many references to illegal behavior. You probably think that should go without saying, right? But for some reason, it doesn't. Nickelodeon loves to put strange little references to illegal activities throughout the show. Just take this one for example. Arnold from Hey Arnold is talking to his grandfather, Grandpa Phil. He tells Grandpa Phil that he shouldn't worry because he's still got plenty of brain cells left. Grandpa Phil then tells Arnold that he doesn't have as many brain cells as he once had since he went to Woodstock. If you don't know what Woodstock is, it was a music festival that took place in 1969. It's widely known for the illegal smoking activities that went on there. By saying this, Grandpa Phil is basically saying that he partook in a lot of these activities, which is why he no longer has any brain cells. Did you catch that joke when you watched it as a kid? Probably not. Most kids have no idea what Woodstock is or what went on there. So clearly that joke was for the parents. But we really wonder if parents actually enjoy these inappropriate jokes being in their children's television shows. We don't think we would like it very much. Would you? No Vacancy. There are some shows that you just expect inappropriate things to be a part of. Rocko's Modern Life was one of those shows. From the beginning to the end of each episode, the show is chock full of things that aren't suitable for kids. If you didn't notice any of these things, then you probably weren't watching close enough. In one episode, there was even a hotel called the No-Tell Motel. Doesn't that just sound creepy? Why would you need a motel that doesn't tell? What are people doing in there that needs to be kept a secret? It also says that the rooms come complete with wah-wah beds. You're guessing that means water beds? Why do these rooms need water beds? Everything about this hotel seems super skeevy. It also says that they have hourly rates available. Most times when a hotel rents by the hour, people are not intending on sleeping there if you catch our drift. We know this show is known for how inappropriate it is, but this one really took the cake. There is a fine line between being funny and just going way too far. We think this joke might have been on the bad side of the line. Inappropriate Eating. Nickelodeon doesn't just have cartoons. No, there are some scripted shows on the channel as well, so we can't leave them out. You might think that the scripted shows would be less likely to have inappropriate material, but that's not the case at all. Some of the scripted shows are super inappropriate. We are talking about you, iCarly. iCarly may have seemed innocent enough, but if you pay attention, you can catch some weird sexual undertones in this show. For instance, we know that Sam loves to eat. She eats in almost every episode of the show, but sometimes when she eats, it's in such a sexual manner that we can't help but be creeped out. One time that this went too far was when Sam sucked some cream out of some pink fat cakes. While she did this, Freddie and Spencer watched her with their mouths hanging open. How much more suggestive could the show be? Well, the answer is actually a lot more suggestive. If you go back and look at any of the things that Sam eats, there is usually a sexual undertone behind it. We aren't sure why Nick decided to go this route when dealing with Sam, but we wish they hadn't. Bleak Jokes. As you have seen from the rest of this video, Nickelodeon is no stranger to inappropriate jokes. But sometimes the jokes are taken too far and go from funny to downright sad. Take this one example for instance. In one scene in Rugrats, Grandpa Boris gets tired of watching Stu's videos. So what does he do? He called Dr. Kevorkian. If you don't know anything about Dr. Kevorkian, he was a doctor that strongly endorsed assisted suicide. So by Grandpa Boris calling the doctor, it pretty much alluded to the fact that he would rather pass away than watch any more of Stu's videos. We get joking around, but joking about losing your life is serious. We also don't think that many kids probably understood the Dr. Kevorkian reference, at least we hope they didn't, so why include it in the scene? Did the creators of the shows just get so bored that they have to include little jokes for themselves to catch? If that's the case, then they should really just find some other way to keep the show fun, because including jokes about assisted suicide is definitely not the way to go. Kids shouldn't have to worry about being exposed to jokes like that when they watch television. Drinking problems. Many cartoons portray families that are pretty perfect. There are usually two parents who love and care for their kids very well. But in Hey Arnold, one family had a not-so-hidden secret issue. Do you know what we are talking about? Helga's mom was an alcoholic. Yes, she was. If you go back and watch certain episodes, you can definitely tell. She was always slurring her words. You might just think that this was because she was tired, but think about it hard. She was always making her special smoothies too. She even had to do community service at one point. This could have been because she got a DUI. To top it all off, she was always falling asleep everywhere. Doesn't that sound like the behavior of a drunk? We could see Nick making Helga's mom a drunk so that they could teach some valuable life lesson on the show, but they didn't use it for that reason. In fact, they never really acknowledge it on the show, so it seems that they just made her an alcoholic for no reason. It served no purpose. It didn't add anything to the storyline, and there were no lessons learned from the story or anything. Weird hookups. Why are cartoons so full of adult moments these days? Seriously, can't we have anything that is pure anymore? Since we were talking about Hey Arnold, let's go ahead with another example of how the show is seriously messed up at times. In one scene, Arnold and Gerald are going on a road trip with Gerald's dad and Arnold's grandpa. While they are in the car, Grandpa Phil starts to go into detail about a story that happened when he was younger. He says that he was sleeping in a barn when a young woman named Monique came and knocked on the barn door. He described loved what she was wearing as a figure-flattering dress. He was about to go into more detail about what happened when Gerald's dad cut him off before the story got too inappropriate. Thank goodness for Gerald's dad, or else we would have gotten too many details about that story. Can you imagine if he had gone through the whole story? Why would he think that his grandson and grandson's best friend needed to know about that story? And how much detail was he going to go into? We guess we will never know, but that's probably for the best, don't you think? Misunderstandings. Misunderstandings can sometimes be pretty comical. They are the focus of a lot of jokes on many shows. But some of the misunderstandings on Nickelodeon shows are just downright dirty. For instance, in a scene in Cat Dog, one character is telling another that he needs to act classier. He says, "You're with classy people now, so show some class." At this, the other character begins to pull down his pants. Obviously, he got the word class mixed up with a much dirtier word. But it just makes you think, why would a cartoon character think that they need to show their butt in order to impress classy people? That screams sexual harassment. Was there sexual harassment going on in a fictional workplace? We certainly hope not. But the fact that the character was so willing to drop his pants makes it seem like that may have been the case. We get that it was a misunderstanding, but what a weird conclusion to jump to. We wonder what kids who watch the show think about what happened. Did they realize that the character was literally about to show his butt in order to impress his boss? We really hope that no kids picked up on that. And that's it for 10 inappropriate things Nickelodeon snuck by without you knowing. Were you surprised by any of the things on this list? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.